Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this Meaningful Monday. Today is the 1st of May. It's a really special day. Three people's birthdays today, two of them being my late uncle and my late grandfather on the same day. So, special day, and just wanted to say a very warm welcome to all those who normally show up for Meaningful Monday. So, welcome back. You're very special. Thank you for coming back every time. And to anyone who's new here for the first time, very warm welcome. And I do hope that you get some great value out of the next hour and a bit that we spend together. So there's just more people joining. Nice, we've got 22 people already. We've got an interesting topic tonight. So for anyone who's new and doesn't know me, my name is Janine Chaka. I'm the trainer of the Silva Method in Australia. And I'm also a coach and help people with investment property and also do Heal Your Life and other things. But what I want to share with tonight is a really important lesson. It was such a big lesson in my own life that I just had to actually share it. So for those of you who may not know, I was in South Africa just recently in March for training the Silva Method for the very first time ever. And just before that, in January this year, I went to Perth to train the Silva Method in Perth for the very first time ever. So I don't know if any of you can relate to, let me just let these people in. If you ever do something that's a little bit, different to what you normally do, and it's outside of your comfort zone, and there are a lot of unknowns, it can be something that could potentially make you a little bit nervous, depending on your risk level and such. So I want to share with you something that's so starkly different in the way I handle this than anything in any other time in my life. Now, I'm a total keen enthusiast of personal development, and I've been doing it for years and years and years. And I've done the Silva Method for years. And through all this personal development, there are still these things that can really go wrong and kind of just throw you right off track. But for the first time ever in all my years, so sorry, there's a lot of people still joining here. I handled the things that went wrong this time in a totally different way. It wasn't just fluke or by accident. It was with intention and what I would call a higher level of awareness. And when I looked back and sat in reflection as to what actually happened and how everything landed or ended up or transpired, it was way better than I expected, even though a lot of things went wrong. And I realized that it was all those years of personal development, the 10-day Vipassana, which is all about removing suffering from the root cause level, which is about avoiding any craving for something that you really want that you don't have, or having any aversion of not wanting something that has shown up. So there's that, and there's also some of the people might even be on here who have joined a mastermind of mine before called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Waddles, which is a 9-week mastermind, and it's based on a book that's written over 100 years ago. And that's the book called The Science of Getting Rich, is the book, a little green book, that is the actual literature that created the movie The Secret, or the book The Secret, by Rhonda Byrne. So Rhonda Byrne didn't come up with all the information. It came from this book called The Science of Getting Rich. And I've done that mastermind because I teach it for several years now. And there's one line in that whole book that is kind of the pinnacle of everything Wallace D. Waddles is trying to teach. And it's that line that for the first time I practiced at a level with a higher risk than ever before. And I just wanted to really share that with everyone, because I want all of you to learn faster than I did, because I took so many years to get to this point. And if you listen to what I'm going to share with you tonight, you could really pick this up straight away and go for what I call a quantum leap in your success, in whatever you're doing in your life or that you want to achieve. And I literally mean a quantum leap. That's why I've called this Meaningful Monday Bold Moves for Success. And they are bold because you need to dare to trust yourself to take this kind of action. I'm going to be honest, it's not for everyone. But if you can trust the authors that taught me what I've applied here, that's given me such a great result, then I would just really wish and hope for all of you that you would trust them and trust what I'm sharing here and give it a go. Just give it a go in your own life, and you may be surprised with success that is way beyond your expectations. So let's get into it. The lessons from the South African trip. So first of all, I call it in the appearance of things. So it's the appearance of things. And please, if you're making notes, just take your pen and write down appearance. The appearance of things. It's just the appearance. It's not truth. All right. It's just appearance. And the most difficult thing is to stare into the face of things that appear to be awfully wrong and to not let that change anything that you think and feel about what it is that you're trying to do or trying to have or trying to achieve. And that's when there's that line in that book of The Science of Getting Rich, that, by the way, is a mastermind coming up a few months from now. The line is think truth regardless of appearances. So you may want to write that ahead because that's the teaching point. Think truth regardless of appearances. So in the appearance of things, so first of all, I just want to say, as I said, we went to Perth for the first time to do the Silva Method. I did have a list of people who inquired for Silva over the years. So I contacted them and the uptake was really low, but the interest was quite strong. There were about maybe 15 to 20 people who said, yep, they would like to potentially come if I do Silva in Perth. So I had this date in January, and by the time December comes, you want to know if you're going to be doing this or not. The venue needs to secure it. It was even before, I think it was October, even earlier than that, October, November. And then by December, we said to the people, you've got to tell us if you're definitely coming or not and actually pay, because we have to put all this money against it. So I only had 8 bookings. I just want to talk about Perth first. I only had 8 bookings. With 8 bookings, it wasn't where I wanted to be, but I went ahead and I booked the venue. I paid the money. I booked the flights. They were extraordinarily expensive because I've flown to Perth before and they were about double the price. I also bought Nancy a ticket because she's my assistant and came to help me with that. The accommodation, the printing, everything. So everything was actually booked and I didn't know if it would turn out. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you all the details in between, but there were appearances there that things seemed to go wrong as well. However, we ended up on the day with 26 people in the room. And it happened when I gave up on any thoughts about it working or not working. I just didn't have any thoughts about it. What I did have was an enormous amount of gratitude and a lot of faith. And this is part of the teaching of tonight. But let's go back to South Africa. Everything seemed to go wrong. So I'd made this booking and it's at a beautiful game reserve called Cradle Moon. And I booked the venue, and somehow, some way, the conference room was secured and booked. But the lady who took my booking for the accommodation, she never put it in the system. So I was actually in South Africa, and I get an email saying, sorry, we can't have you stay at Cradle Moon for those 4 or 5 nights around the Silva Method. And in that moment, I wanted to get a bit angry, blame whoever it was, because she said that assistant's name in the conference booking didn't put in the system. Like, blame that person and say, well, that's unacceptable. If she got the booking wrong, you guys need to honor it because he has my old email and it says that I am definitely coming. I could have gone down that road, and that would probably be something I've done for years and years, something I would have done in corporate. I don't know. But this time, as it happened in that moment, and they said, sorry, your booking can't be, we can only take you for 2 nights, but the first 2 nights you can't stay with us. So the first 2 nights for me are actually more important to be at the venue, because I have to take stuff to the room, set it up. There's suitcases going back and forth with equipment, sound equipment, manuals, posters, all kinds of things. So it was the wrong way around. It was the first 2 nights actually in what I would perceive to be the wrong place. But as I got that information, I just stopped myself and just said, and I promise you, these were the words that went through my head. I just said, thank you, God. I know that better's coming. This is happening for a reason. I don't believe things will go wrong, and everything's working out for me. I just kept saying everything's working out for me. So that's the first thing. The booking couldn't be made. The next thing was I tried to get hold of a headset microphone, because to train the Silva Method, I do need to have a headset mic. It's not really going to work so well with a handheld mic, and lapel mics, forget about it, doesn't work. I mean, for this kind of event, because you've got meditations over sound. So they first said they haven't got one. Then I tried to hire one from an independent company, and then that didn't happen. And then I was just wondering about this microphone thing. So I packed my own headset, this little piece that you see in the picture here, just this extension. I packed it, and that's all I packed. I never packed the battery pack on the hip or the transmitter, because they don't work in other countries. There's a frequency and you can only use that in Australia. But I just packed my own headset in case. A few days before the event, the lady emailed me, because I've been asking about it, and said, hey, we actually do have a headset mic. And I think I was so surprised by it, because when I first got it, it was like things are going wrong. And even though that was also going wrong, and I didn't know what microphone I was going to use and how it would be, I actually then again said, you know what? Everything's working out for me. It's all going to be fine. I've got no attachment to whatever it is. And you know what? Even if I have to use like a handheld mic, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But I never worried about anything. And it would have normally stressed me out. Any other time this would have me something, oh, this is not working out. I had the complete opposite reaction. The other thing was our marketing efforts were really not on. So I'll explain to you a bit further in the presentation that for those of you who may have joined, you might be on this webinar, you might not. But in the beginning of the year, I ran a mastermind on developing the leader within you by John Maxwell. And we had an assignment there to test something that had a 50-50 chance of failing, because you actually had to go through a model of failure to learn a specific lesson on leadership attitude that John Maxwell wants to teach, but you can't learn the lesson if you don't actually fail. So if you do the test and learn and you succeed, well, then you've got to find another project that's got a 50-50 chance of failure. And if that succeeds, well, then you've got to find another one that's potentially going to fail until you get the project that fails. So for me, I said, okay, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to pay for marketing. So I paid for marketing for Perth. I must just tell you, it was a failure. It actually never gave us, seriously, not one lead. I think the landing page only went live and the Facebook ads only started working literally like 2 days before the event. And that was a total failure. But I took those learnings and then we used the same company for South Africa. In South Africa, the marketing efforts also went wrong. Now, this was a big concern because I booked international flights. I paid Cradle Moon, the venue, way ahead, and I only had, hear this, 3 bookings for South Africa. Now, if anyone does any maths, you'll work out that does not pay the bills, and I've made a horrendous loss if I go. And with that, I was putting a lot of faith and hope into this marketing of paid Facebook and paid Google ads, as I said, which I've never done before until this January this year for this event. So as you can see in that picture, the guy with the bone arrow is going the wrong way. All I can tell you is that 16 days out from the South African go live date, 16 days before the event starts, we still don't have any ads running. I cannot get my Facebook account to work. It was such a mess. I just cannot tell you. And we're sitting there. We got no leads, except for a few names of people that I had collected over the years. And I've already contacted them all, exhausted them all, spoken to them all, and we only had 3 bookings. So with that, again, the normal Janine from all days before and all years before, I would have started to have a little bit of a panic, not a big deal, but I would have really been a bit worried. I would have probably got a bit stressed about it. Would have been something on my mind that's playing on my mind. What are we going to do? How are we going to fix it? All this that normally goes through any person's head, if you know what I'm talking about, you've had been in a situation like this before, would have happened to you. I took the opposite reaction again. When the marketing wasn't working, I just took what we had. Okay, we had this list of leads. I sat in a very calm state in my chair. I've got a chair in my main bedroom at home. It's like a recliner. It's my favorite chair because it's very comfortable. I was sitting in there by myself, very peaceful and quiet, and just thinking, what would be the most ideal thing that I could possibly do to ramp up the bookings for South Africa and see what we can do? So, of course, I called a meeting with the marketing company that we were working with, saying, look, guys, whatever's going on, you need to fix it and fix it ASAP, because 16 days out, we still haven't got the marketing going. I don't know how many tickets a person is going to sell 16 days before the event, because not everyone can come up with that kind of money. And secondly, people need to take time off work. It's a Thursday to Sunday event. So in that, I just sat there and I got this idea to do something. So I created a short video. I got everyone's mobile numbers. I sent them WhatsApps. I sent this little video. I sent a voice note. I wrote just a sentence or two that was just like kind of inspired action. Anyway, I did all of that and got on the plane, got to South Africa. And when I got there, I was also told that the room that I had booked for the Silva Method, which is called the kudu room, because it's in a game reserve, so they've got the names of the rooms by animals. The kudu room. They then said to me, oh, we actually have got this headset mic and it's in the kudu room and everything's going to be fine. And as I got to South Africa, just when I got there, they contacted me and said, sorry, the headset mic does not work in the kudu room, so we don't have a mic for you. All right. And I just, again, same scenario as all the others, just said, okay, this is going to work out. It's all going to be fine. Another thing that went wrong, 3 clients who I've sold properties to a long time ago, they signed and sealed, their contracts have been done and everything, said to me they potentially, this is when I came back from South Africa, like a week before I came back, I got these notifications. They potentially don't want to proceed. Okay, they want to pull out and whatever it may be. When that happened, again, if it was the old me, I would have said, oh no, this is not working, something's going wrong. How did I manifest that? What did I do to create that? And try and analyze all the problems that I've done. Or was my energy bad? Was I upset? Was I angry? What was going on that I have manifested this? And even with that example, I had absolutely not 1 second of entertaining the appearance of it. I just said, I'm absolutely grateful that everything's working out for me. As soon as I get back, I'll contact everyone, and I just trust everything is going to work out even better. So that's the scenario. All these things went wrong. Okay. So on the face value, it really looks like defeat. And this potentially would have been the way I would feel before. And it's just that line I said to you, think truth regardless of appearances. I'd like everyone to just either go in the chat or unmute your mic, but tell me what you understand by the word or the phrase, think truth regardless of appearances. What is truth? If you've done the mastermind, you'll know the answer. So maybe speak last or come on last if you have done this mastermind. But what is truth? You can just guess. Think truth regardless of appearances. Anyone, just guess. Go into the chat, type something in there, or unmute your mic and tell me what you understand by truth. Go on. Okay, someone's brave enough to write
a knowing. It's just like a knowing.
Yes, a knowing of what? So what is truth? Truth is that this universe has got a couple of attributes, and
it's going to conspire to help you.
Yes, if my energy is right, it'll conspire to help me. It's unbiased. Think truth regardless of what is meant to be. Trust yourself. Not quite. Anyone else? Your truth of the moment. Go, Puneet.
Trust your feelings, and because in Mastermind you teach that you can manifest whatever you visualize. So you keep your image intact of for the end results, and you just keep your faith in that, and just like go with your feelings, probably.
What kind of feelings?
So if, for example, in Mastermind, going by what I learned in my class with you the last time, so you said that turn your problems into projects and then visualize a solution. So you keep your focus on the solution and bring in positive feelings for that
Okay.
image.
All right.
And,
Yep.
and you keep your focus on that no matter what curveballs are thrown at you in between.
Yep. Thank you for that. I love that answer. Okay. So, so you're going to keep a positive mindset. You're not going to let things get you down. So you're going to hold that image of what you really want. Okay. That is true. I've got trust yourself, your truth of the moment. And Michelle, what you said, I like what you said, true, about it, the universe conspiring. There's something else I'm looking for in the, I see Vandana. Vandana wrote, all is right in the world. Okay, that's the closest to truth. And then I've got Lisa saying, trust, truth, deny, doubt. Love that. That's exactly right. So just to give you, they're all correct. They're all correct. What I want to emphasize is this is truth. Someone else wrote here. Your belief and faith. Absolutely. Faith is the big, the big word here. Truth is there is always abundance. Okay. There is always love. Even if it doesn't look like it, there's always love. If I may just share a very quick example, and this might be far out for someone, I don't know, but I'm just going to share from my belief and from my faith. When I say there's always love, if someone was a real perpetrator in your life and did something terrible, which either broke your heart, betrayed you, made you furious, angry, I don't know what, but really just crossed you the wrong way. Maybe there's someone who's in your family or something like that. If you understood that the most important spiritual lesson you could ever learn is forgiveness, and if you took a bigger picture approach and stepped right out of this world and thought about before you even came to this world, you made a spiritual contract with that person somehow, some way, for your spiritual benefit, to learn that spiritual lesson. And they, with so much love for you, chose in that spiritual contract to be that perpetrator, that betrayer, that person who crossed you the wrong way. They would be that in this lifetime, to provide that opportunity for you to learn that lesson on forgiveness. That's how much they love you. They love you so much that they never came here to be your best friend, because we learn nothing. Our difficult relationships are our greatest teachers. So if you look at it from that, it can make a person cry from gratitude on the degree of love that that person chose to be that person in this life. Because you know that people who do that to people are hurt themselves to do that to other people. So that's just an example. So let's go back to the statement. Think truth regardless of appearances. There's always love, there's always abundance, and there's always health. Always health. People say, oh no, but that's not true. I know many people who are very sick. Yes, we as a human being with our mind and our mental dis-ease and emotional dis-ease create illnesses in the body. Even with small infants, they're in an energy field. But if anybody had something wrong, you know, if you hurt yourself or cut yourself and you don't do anything, that cut will heal. So basically our default setting is actually perfect health. Whenever health is not right, there's some cause, which is often an emotional dis-ease that's not attended to, and over years and years and years, it can just, get worse and worse and worse, and a person gets more and more ill. So if anyone's read Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Life, it's well explained in there, or a book like Conscious Medicine. There's even a body dictionary in there. Every part of the body is a language. Why is that part not well? Well, it's trying to tell you something, like your lower back means you're feeling unsupported, or, you don't want to move forward, something wrong with your leg, or whatever it may be. So there's always health, there's always love, and there's always abundance or prosperity. That's what it means, think truth. So think truth is, I've got no bookings, okay? But the truth is that, as Dee wrote here, your belief and your faith is strong. As Michelle said, I believe that the universe is conspiring in my favor. It's the belief in the truth of the universe conspiring in my favor. It's the belief in all is right in the world, as Vandana wrote. So it's holding that with total faith, without letting the appearance of things cause doubt, fear, or indecision. An indecision would be, geez, should I have actually booked the tickets for South Africa because we've only got 3 bookings? Should I have booked the tickets and the venue and everything for Perth if you only got 8 bookings? That kind of thing. So no doubt, no indecision, and no fear. This is not easy, okay? And I've taken years of reading this and teaching it in mastermind after mastermind after mastermind, writing it. We had an exercise in the Science of Getting Rich mastermind where we wrote this statement out every day for 30 days. Think truth regardless of appearances. And only now did I actually apply that knowledge when things were going wrong. And let me just tell you how things worked out. So the accommodation, your booking couldn't be made. The venue said, all right, it was our staff member. When I said, all right, look, this is really not ideal, but please, what can you help us? Because if we need to stay somewhere, we don't have anywhere to stay. They said, we'll book you across the road. They called it their neighbor. We'll book you at the neighbor. So we didn't know what the neighbor meant. The neighbor is actually a neighboring game reserve. It's called 26 Degrees South. And as we took the Uber towards Cradle Moon the day before the event to set up, we had to drop the luggage at 26 degrees because that's where we're staying first. I kid you not, as we drove into the gate, we weren't even 20 meters into the gate. And see this video of the zebra here? Just watch this video. This is our car. Right in front of us, there were zebra all around us. And it was just phenomenal. There were about 8 of them. At the same time, there was these, let me just stop this video. Sorry. There were these giraffes there, and they were right up at the car. I've got this photo from them at a distance, but as we drove up, there were another 2 giraffes on the other side of the car, and I kid you not, they were probably 5 meters away. You could literally see their leg. What a magnificent sight. Nancy was in the car. She's never seen African game like this before. And from such an overwhelming feeling of appreciation and joy and gratitude of these amazing animals right up at the car, she actually cried. She cried from that feeling of just awe and a sense of immense gratitude. It was just the most spectacular moment. Even the Uber driver, who's an African lady who's seen this before, she cried. She said, this is just so beautiful. How blessed are we to have this happen? Now, that's because our accommodation was messed. So we got to go to 26 degrees. What a wonderful way to just enter, in the first minute that you go through the gate. So that was the one thing I said, oh, well, it actually went better than expected. Now we're staying in a different venue for 2 nights and then back to Cradle Moon where the actual event is. For the other 2 nights, here's that giraffe. And this was the view of the room from 26 degrees. And we would have never seen this at Cradle Moon. Such a beautiful view. This is early in the morning, this hot air balloon. It actually came right across. I've got a photo of it right above the room. It came right across in front of me. So that was spectacular. Such a joy, such a wonderful way to wake up. Then we moved to Cradle Moon. They never had the room I asked for. I asked for room 23 because I've been to that place last year, June, and I kind of selected the room I wanted. They said, sorry, we never saw that email. We never got your number of room 23. You're going to stay in this other room. I think it was room number 8. But it was outside this room that every single night a whole herd of something sleep. Not outside 23. So this is the blue wildebeest. There were about 20 of them. And they were outside the room for 2 mornings. And one night when we got home, there were a whole lot of impalas sleeping right outside the room as well. So things worked out better than expected from what we thought went wrong. All right, here it was. This was the kudu room that I booked, and I booked this from Australia, looking at the pictures on the website, thinking, oh man, I want a room with colored chairs. That's all I could see were colored chairs. I thought, this is going to be the room I want. I want the room with colored chairs. Anyway, when they got hold of me and said, sorry, there's no microphone in the kudu room. This is the kudu room. I was supposed to be upset. I could have been upset because I didn't know what I was going to do for a mic, and it was one day now before the event, and I didn't know if I was actually going to get hold of an audio-visual company to deliver one, because we're quite outside of Joburg, the day before. I didn't know how it was going to work out. I really didn't. But, you know, in that moment, I just said, thank you. I know everything is working out for me, and probably better is coming. I just really that's the only thought in my head. And I really had a sense of peace inside that it would be fine. Anyway, when we get to Cradle Mountain, I set up the room. This room looks better in the photo than it does in real life. It's a dark room. There's not a lot of sunlight, and these chairs are really uncomfortable. They're just an illusion that they look really good looking because they're colorful. So this wasn't the ideal room. So I just said to the lady, look, if there's no headset mic in this room and there's no setup for it or anything, do you have a room with a mic? She goes, yes, we do. It's another room called the Gemsbok room, and you're welcome to use that, and there is a headset mic. I said, okay, let's have a look at the Gemsbok room. We go to the Gemsbok room. It is much bigger, and it's got all these heavy tables. This furniture is really heavy inside. And they had the chairs on the outside, and they said, do you want us to move the tables? I said, no, I love it. Leave the tables in this U shape, and these chairs on the inside, look how nice the room is, are the most comfortable chairs. If you take a seat in here, you couldn't get a better chair to do the Silva Method in. So yeah, we had a better room, and then all these tables around, everyone could put their manuals, and there was nothing on the floor. The room was much neater than normal. Everything worked out better, and I actually took my own headset mic from Australia, that one in the picture over here at the top, and I plugged it into their little box, and it fitted and it worked. And the sound was fantastic. So I'm just saying, everything worked out better than expected. Here's the room. The other thing about this room compared to the kudu room has got no windows or doors on the one side. This one has got big sliding doors. So all this natural light coming in, and this is from that door. So if I go back here, this door here, if you open it, you'll go onto a little balcony out there, or porch, whatever you want to call it. This is it. And look, there's zebra in the background. Every day we saw these animals walking past the room. You can't see that from the kudu room. It's surrounded on both sides by buildings. So we got a better room, and it's way bigger. So I'm just letting you know, when things go wrong, hold your faith and they go better. The other thing about the marketing going wrong, well, we never actually got the any bookings. The Google Ads still to this day didn't actually work. I don't know what happened there. We're still going to have a post-mortem meeting. But we did get a lot of leads in the last few days through Facebook. But I just held that absolute gratitude that things were going to work out. And I just kept seeing, when I closed my eyes, I would count the people in the room as if I'm doing a roll call. And every single time I counted 12 people. Well, we actually had 13 people. So it was great. It was the perfect number. It was just a wonderful group. Then this thing about these three properties, three clients said that there's some things come up in their life, whatever it is, life happens, and they potentially think that they want to pull out. When I got this news, I was already back in Australia, just for about a day or so. I was quite tired, and I got this news, and I was actually walking out to the lift outside my office here. And again, I just caught myself and from thinking negatively, and I stopped myself and I just took a breath, and with full faith, I just said, whatever's going to happen is actually going to be better than what's just appeared. And I just trust that it's going to be better than what's just appeared. So thinking truth again, regardless of appearances. Anyway, I made a phone call to these clients. They had something in their head or a question or something that they couldn't understand. We took the time, explained it to them. If we needed to have meetings with other people, we did that. And then all three were back in the game. And in the very same week, another one. So we even got more. So that three that went away came back with 3 plus another bigger commercial property deal as well. So there again, Nothing was lost. In fact, it was better than before. Okay. So why I'm sharing this all with you is once I did this and I thought of this, I was in a coffee shop last week thinking, what am I going to do for Meaningful Monday? And as I thought about these lessons of just think truth regardless of appearances, I got home and I ordered this book. So I'll just stop the share. Can you see this book? It says U Squared. I ordered this book before I went overseas to South Africa and I came back. It's a skinny little book. It will take you 30 minutes to read. I wanted to read this book because Bob Proctor said it's one of the 3 books in your life you must read and study. One of them is Think and Grow Rich. One of them is As a Man Thinketh. I know he also does The Science of Getting Rich. And this is the other one he talks about. So actually 4. U Squared. So I come home, I read this book, and I kid you not, it's exactly what I've tried to explain to you in my limited vocabulary of Think Truth regardless of appearances. So I'm going to share with you from this book what it says. And this is exactly, only now looking back and I see this is what I did without reading this book. And once I saw, wow, someone's actually written this as a formula for something called a quantum leap. And I'm going to share the formula with you in a summary, but otherwise I recommend you buy this little book. It'll take you half an hour to read. So I'm going to share with you something like some of my stories, but in more clear terms, which will really help you. And if you apply these lessons, just give it a go and you'll see. You'll have success greater than you expect. So first of all, what is a quantum leap? Well, a quantum leap is accomplishing far more. And it's not, and the book says not 20, 30% more, not a little bit incrementally more, but like way more. So you're going to get 10 times more or something massive, not just a little bit more, but way more. So it says accomplishing far more in less time with only a fraction of the effort you've been giving. So there's a story in the beginning of the book of a fly. This guy's watching a fly against a window trying to get out, and he's buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and exhausting himself against this window, trying harder to get to the window. But he's just going to eventually die on that windowsill because he's not going anywhere. But trying harder to get through the window, the fly's never going to get through the pane of glass. And he's standing there looking, and only about 2 meters to the side is an open doorway to get outside. But because the fly won't try anything different, he's going to die on that windowsill, trying harder on something that doesn't work. So I'm sharing the story with you because if the fly did just move back and went out the doorway, far less effort, he would accomplish far more in a few seconds than this like half an hour or more it's been trying to get out the window. And in the book it says here, why doesn't the fly try another approach, something dramatically different? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? So if I look at my own example, if I did more of the same on all the things I've done before, it's applying more effort, trying harder, worrying all night, writing a ton more emails, chasing up the venue, causing fights with the staff about the booking that got wrong and the headset mic they don't have. I didn't do any of that. I called the staff and I thanked them. I said, thank you for letting me know. I said, I don't know what will happen. I'm sure it'll all work out, but thank you. I'm just so grateful that you're keeping me up to date. I never complained once. It was a totally different approach altogether. And here it is. So it says here, 4 methods for leaping beyond the ordinary. Focus on the end rather than the means. So when Michelle said the universe is conspiring for you, it's that with only having in your head the end result. The end result is a whole lot of happy silver graduates. And Perth ended up being, by the way, as if I didn't say it before, 26 people. And we only had 8 bookings when we left. And it all just happened a few days before the event. All these bookings came in. Someone even booked the night before. The event was the next day. They booked that evening. So never concern yourself with the appearance of things. That's what I'm saying. Just focus on the end with joy, with gratitude, with a lot of faith. Then it says they quit trying harder. So when a person goes, look, I'm not saying don't try because it sounds like a paradox or sounds contradictory. It's the energy we bring to the action we take. It's not the action we take only. So trying harder when you're stressed and worried and think this is not working out and this is a disaster and all these negative thoughts, that's resistance. But that night I curled up in that big lazy chair at home and just started to go through the list of people and decided to make a little video and send it to them. I was very relaxed. It's what I call inspired action, not trying harder. That's a resistant energy. Inspired action is a flow energy. You are inspired. You've got a little bit of ideas flowing in your head. You feel highly optimistic. You have total 100% faith that this is going to work out. Okay? And then think beyond what common sense would allow. You've got to. And you've got to make your move before you're ready. So this is the example of paying for the flights and paying for the venue, not having the bookings in hand. I kid you not. We had 3 bookings for South Africa. 3. I made the move. I wasn't ready. And when it says look inside for opportunity, that's that sitting quiet and still and listening to your inner voice, or closing your eyes and relaxing, almost like a silent meditation with not much thought going on, except maybe an openness to some idea or some advice. Or what's the best next step? I love that term. When things don't really work out, I just sit there saying, I trust everything's going to work out. And what would be the best next step? That's all I want, is the best next step. And something always comes to me. Whatever that may be, it comes to me. So if it's the idea to send them a little video or to just catch up with them or phone people, whatever it may be, I did whatever just came to me. And at the end, we got enough people and it was a wonderful event. So you have the potential, you have the resources. Now, people say the resources are the money and the bookings and the opportunities and the events and the physical things in the physical world. I don't really necessarily think it's just that. I think resources are the faculties of our mind, which is willpower, reason, memory, imagination, intuition, and perception. The 6 faculties of the mind. Those are the resources. And why? Because we can hold with willpower in our mind any image that we want. And that's the image of the final end outcome, exactly as you want it to be. And the emotion that you feel inside is total 100% faith. So you have the potential. You do. You have unlimited potential. The resources are available. There's another resource I haven't spoken about, which is the universe, God, infinite intelligence, universal source energy, the quantum field, the divine matrix, whatever name you're going to give it, that is a higher power. That higher power, you are a part of it. You're not created from it and separate. You are a part of that one universal source energy we all are. We are more spiritual beings than physical beings. We're just having a human experience here, but we're first and foremost spiritual beings, part of the universe. The word uni in universe means one in Italian or Latin, uni, uno. So universe, there's only one. There's one divine energy field that all things are connected through. And the difference between you and that higher power is volume. But your characteristics are exactly the same. It's like a droplet from the ocean is the same characteristics as the whole ocean, same properties in that water, which is creative. We can create. So when we trust in the resources of the higher power, we tap into that higher power energy, which can create all things. There's no lack or limitation. That's thinking truth. So you have the potential, you have the resources, the faculties of your mind and a higher power, that resource you can, and the opportunity is there. So what is missing is your decision just to go for it. Take a leap of faith. Get on the plane, make the bookings, pay the venue, that kind of thing, whatever it is. Take that leap, go for it. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. Remember, it's the energy you bring to trying harder. If a person's really just going for it, but you're having inspired action, That's awesome work. That's great effort. That's wonderful. But trying harder when you're banging your head and you're complaining and you're frustrated and you're phoning and you're emailing and you're having meetings and you're making lists, that's not the energy. It's the energy we bring to the action that we take. So quantum leap is the unexpected that comes to you with sudden grace. And I love that word grace because it almost feels like blessings were bestowed upon me far beyond what I deserve. Although that's a cancel. That wouldn't be appropriate. What's more appropriate is to say I am deserving. But it's that feeling of blessings, like we've been blessed beyond our wildest dreams or beyond our expectations. That's the feeling of grace. And that's what a quantum leap is. But you get it by not forcing it into existence. You just really still inside have a very calm energy about you with total gratitude and faith. Those two qualities, gratitude and faith. And remember, always thinking truth regardless of appearances. And the key is to not get in the way. And that means don't go getting all stressed about it. Don't go start arguing with people. Like if it was me arguing with the staff, why is my booking wrong? Where are you gonna? You got to give me accommodation there. I'm traveling from internationally. I could have gone down that road. No, that's me getting in the way. Just let it occur. Trust it's going to work out better, and have nothing else in your mind. And it's achieved through an intuitive, instinctive discovery process based on a sense of direction and a sense of just that intuitive action, that inspired action, and then total 100% faith. Then it says, if you have the answers and the structure and all that certainty, up front, what it says, and certainly up front, like you want the answers up front, you want the structure up front. How's it going to be? How's it going to work? When is it? Is it all fine? That's not a quantum leap. So this book, I'd love everyone just to buy this book. It's an awesome little book. It says that you won't have everything prepared. You don't have all the answers up front. That's when you go. You go when you're not ready, but you go with the right energy and the right faith and the right belief, and amazing things happen. So be bold and dare to take risks. So moving into uncharted territory with no guide to follow. You draw the map as you go. We have to continually be jumping off cliffs and developing our wings on the way down. Now, when it says be bold and dare to take risks. Ness, wonderful. Already bought the book on Amazon. That's absolutely fantastic. Someone wrote a long message here, Lisa. I am a constant planner organizer and I have the plan ready and in place and huge on security, but I've only just recently started doing exactly what you're talking about. I've left my job, beautiful, with no income. Where am I now? With no income, I have left knowing that the universe always provides for me, and knowings in capital letters. I'm 3 weeks in and so many synchronicities have been lining up for me. I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky. I make my own luck. This is resonating with me big time. Lisa, thank you for that. And I'm so happy for you is all I can say. And just stay in that trusting energy. The words I love to use is you are always carried. It's a beautiful image. Whatever image you have of a higher power, just imagine that you're carried by that, or you're carried by the universe. Like if the universe was personified, imagine being carried in the palm of the hand of the universe. And with that kind of image, you know that you're taken care of, and you will be. Now, when it says be bold and dare to take risks, I'm going to ask, risk what? What is the risk? What do you actually have to risk? The answer is a bit unusual. Oh, and Ness, I'm in the same boat. Quit my job too. We should talk, lol. Yes, you girls should talk. Risk what? Do you know what the risk is? It's the strangest thing I'm going to put on the screen, but this comes from this book. The risk is believing in yourself. Not believing in this plan that is rock solid, or the people that show up, or the bookings that have been made. You don't risk that. You risk believing in yourself. Okay. And then I love this quote. The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. And this actually comes from, if I'm correct, The Secret Science of Getting Rich. It's somewhere in that book written by Wallace D. Wattles. That's what you do when you think truth regardless of appearances. You see the absence. That was me. I see the absence of bookings, the absence of all the thing that I wanted to hear being there. It doesn't mean that it's evidence of absence. Okay, now this is a very interesting thing. As a requirement, it's one of the chapters in this book. You've got to be willing to fail. I just want to find the page that I'm on because I've made myself some notes. Here, seek failure. You actually have to seek failure. So, as I said, I did a mastermind on John Maxwell's book called Developing the Leader Within You. I'll just put it on the screen here. This is the book. We did a mastermind in the beginning of the year. And it says here, if you're experiencing no difficulties, problems, or pain, you've probably aimed too low. So we're not including that here, all right? That's just average. We're not including these small little tiny 1 millimeter goals. We're talking about big things that you want to achieve. John Maxwell says in one of the chapters of this book, the chapter's on attitude, and he says you've got to do this assignment. You've got to test something with a likelihood to fail, and it's got to fail. And then you go through the process of what he's trying to teach so that you learn from your failure, and whatever you learn, you then apply, and that's how you're going to improve. And as you improve, you're then going to re-enter and go for this thing again, hopefully with more success. So I decided in the beginning of the year, as I said, to do this test with the paid marketing. Well, it did fail. It failed with Perth, dismally. We learned some things. We improved some slightly, but we also re-entered for the South African advertising too late. It was 16 days out. I can tell you through this process, my own IT lady, graphic designer who looks after the website, was a separate person to the person doing the advertising. The amount of learnings that she shared with me about what she observed going wrong was just gold nugget after gold nugget after gold nugget. We have collected so many learnings that we are going to apply now, moving forward, to any other thing that we want to apply it to, and honestly improve and re-enter. All I want to say with this, I'm not bragging about this. This is not the point I'm trying to make. The point I want to make is we would not have learned anything without failing. We wouldn't have had all these learnings without testing something, just taking that leap of faith, going for it, being willing to fail. And when it says in this book, you got to be willing to fail and take that leap, not prepared, go for it with this trust inside of yourself. This is how you create a quantum leap. This is exactly how you do it. This is so unconventional. We are so wired for security. It's part of our ego. It's part of the subconscious mind. We are wired that way. So this requires, the switch is from fear or doubt to faith. So you must have faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your purpose, faith in whatever goal you're going for. And if you have faith in a higher power, that's the greatest faith of all. Because then you lean on that faith and you stop trying to control everything. You trust the flow of life, and you trust this energy that's taking care of everything in the universe. Of course, it's taking care of you. Of course, it wants to take care of you. All we need is to believe in it with full faith and be grateful for everything. So that's my big share here with you. Find something in your own life that you're willing to test with a 50% chance of failure, and go through these 5 steps. And as you do it, you will learn so much. You'll come back stronger, better, and more improved than you can ever imagine. And when you re-enter, massive success. Also, just be willing to fail. You can have a quantum leap. So it says, unless you allow yourself to make mistakes, to fail, you will never have the opportunity to test the limits of what you're truly capable of accomplishing. This is a big statement, and this is for you. That's like a key message for you. And failure is a sign of progress. Yes, failure is a sign of progress. We fail our way to success, John Maxwell says. And it's a resource. Why is it a resource? Because if you turn your failure into a learning, it becomes something of value. Now you have value. Well, so what did you get from that failure? Value. Sorry, say that again. What did you get? Value. Oh, well, if you got value, don't even call it a failure. Call it a wonderful test and experience, and you learned a whole lot. So look at failure from a different lens, and it starts to be something you're willing to do again and again and again because of how much you gain from it if you have the mindset to learn from it. This sentence, do you always get what you programmed for? These are not my words. Someone in Laura Silva, Jose Silva's daughter, asked her in a seminar, because the way Laura Silva, if you know her and her life, she's just manifested amazing things. She lives a dream life. And someone said to her, Laura, do you always get what you programmed for? And she said, no, I usually get better. And this is an example, sitting here right now telling you about my failures. Yes, and Navid said, I think John Maxwell, which is true. John Maxwell's written a book called Failing Forward. By the way, that is the first book of John Maxwell I ever read in the 1990s. I was so afraid of making mistakes. I was so afraid of failing. I promise you, the worst fear you can have is the fear of failure, because it'll hold you back and you'll accomplish very little. In 2012, I joined the John Maxwell team. And in 2013, I went to the live event in Orlando, and John Maxwell was talking on stage, and he said, if you don't embrace failure, you will not learn much, and you will not improve, and you will never reach the heights of success that you have, inside your vision or as your dream life. So I decided to embrace making mistakes. I never really did it very well, but this is a great example here of being willing to fail and the great outcome that you can get. So do you always get what you program for? No, you usually get better. So obviously I did program for the outcome, but then you let it go and you just go with that flow. You trust, you take big risks, you risk believing in yourself. You're not fully prepared, but you have a kind of a plan, but you just take that leap. And there we had it. We usually got better. So there we left with 3 people booked, and we ended up with this wonderful class of really the most phenomenal, amazing people. Every single one of them so special, really just heartwarming. And here's the class of Perth. As I said, we had 8, and once we took the leap of faith and paid for everything, we just relaxed, said, well, it is what it is. If we have 8, we have 8, whatever it may be. We're just grateful for what we have, and look what showed up. We had 26. So really good. So another important part here is passion. Passion is a very important part. It says so in the book U Squared. Passion fires the soul. It fills the spirit. It energizes your heart and mind for the quantum leap to a higher plane of performance. Passion also keeps you going when you're hit with problems and uncertainty. You've got to love this thing, right? That's the passion. Let the heart take charge of the body. If you have a magnificent obsession, you are poised for a quantum leap. You must love the destination. I was just so in love with the idea of training a silver class in a game reserve in South Africa with these wild animals, because I've been to Cradle Moon and I knew they walk past the room if you got the right room kind of thing. I was so in love with that idea. It was that love, that passion that I believe carried me through and just was the actual real reason I kept pushing doubt and fear aside and saying, I just trust it'll all work out, because I wanted it to work out, because I really loved the idea of it. I loved the end picture of it. So this is really important part. You've got to love the destination. And there must be something worth caring about, something remarkable, something special, something precious enough to light the fire in your heart. So very important, make the move before you're ready. If you're going to be perfectly ready, it says here, if you wait to get it perfect, you will never get it at all. And look inside for opportunity. The answers to questions that you don't know what to do and how to do it and what to do next, what you don't know. The questions and the answers, they must come from a voice within you. And that voice comes from a moment of stillness. So I've just quoted Eckhart Tolle here. He wrote the book Stillness Speaks. He says, true intelligence operates silently. Stillness is when creativity and solutions to problems are found. So definitely take time to be calm and still and go within. So here's the ultimate message. Think truth regardless of appearances. There's always only love, only abundance, and only health. And if we can hold that, we can get those 3 things that we want. And that's from the Science of Getting Rich. So I'm also letting you know that the mastermind on the Science of Getting Rich is coming up. If anyone's interested, it's a fantastic book. When I say it changed my life, that I've shared with you tonight is exactly how it's changed my life, because I handled it all differently from this quote. I just applied this knowledge, because knowledge is nothing, my friends. Knowledge without application is as good as having no knowledge at all. You got to be daring to apply that with full faith and be willing to fail and see what happens, and you'll be amazed at how things work out better. This is Darlene after that same mastermind. I want to share this because she kind of says the same thing here. She said, the Science of Getting Rich mastermind helped me to feel more calm. There we go, trusting, calm, yet excited and confident going forward in my business. It gave me tools to utilize and remind myself for when things are going my way and when things are not going as planned. There it is. You just think truth regardless of appearances. So that's that. Be bold, be prepared to fail at something big. This is the key takeouts here. When things seem to go wrong, apply the knowledge of think truth regardless of appearances. Have faith more than your doubts, your fears, and your worries. Trust you are connected to infinite intelligence or God or source energy, a higher power, whatever it is for you, and then you will access that power. Accomplishing far more in less time with only a fraction of the effort that you've been giving. Remember, it's the energy that you bring to effort, not the effort alone. So not negative energy and frustration, but more inspired action, trusting, feeling good, feeling grateful. Also focus on the end, that end picture. Like for me, it was just training the Silva Method in a game reserve. I just loved that end picture. Just focus on that, not on the how, not on the means, how we're going to get there. And make your move before you're ready. Take that leap, go for it. Be bold, dare to risk. Remember, the risk is believing in yourself. And the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. So don't worry about appearances, just think truth. And you must love the destination. And to get the answers you want, be still and look inside. Even in the Bible, it says, be still and know that I am God. You could take that in another way. You could say, be still and know that I am God, meaning the universe is always taking care of things. And if you just be still without any resistance or negative energy, you allow that energy to carry you. All right, that's it from tonight. For me, that's the lesson. So I want to thank you all for sharing that. I hope it was valuable. Now, let me tell you what's coming up. As I said, the Science of Getting Rich Mastermind is open for bookings on the website. Starts on the 5th of July. It's going to be awesome. This is one of my favorites. You don't have to buy the book. You get the book as part of the workbook. I have personally received the license to teach this from Bob Proctor. And when he was still alive, before he passed, I emailed him, and believe it or not, he wrote back to me. I was quite surprised, but he wrote back to me, and he not only gave me the license to teach this, I asked him for his own personal workbook to teach the Science of Getting Rich. So if you join my mastermind, you got a workbook from Bob Proctor. His signature's on the front page in there. Not his actual original, but it's like printed. But it's his, and it's wonderful. The questions are wonderful, and it's just a great mastermind. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And then for anyone, this is actually for South Africans, but when I was there, and Nancy was there with me, and how she absolutely loved South Africa. It was just a really awesome experience. We said, why not give this opportunity to people here in Australia? So we created this quick video. So if you do the Silva Method and you knew it's 1,500, but if you're a Silva graduate, why not review the Silva Method in South Africa? The prices are so inexpensive. The Rand dollar, Aussie dollar exchange is 11 to 1. For all 4 days, all meals included, including a game drive, costs like around about $500. The room can sleep 3 people, and it works out to be something like $200 for 3 people to sleep in a room and all your meals. It just really is very, I don't know the exact price, but it's really inexpensive. It's approximately $500 for the whole Cradle Moon experience, all meals, everything, more really, somewhere around there. The Silva Method, if you knew, you pay that price, this one here. Otherwise, you just pay your review fee as a grad and then your flights. So we made this quick video. I want to share it with you. It gave me goosebumps when I first saw it. This is from wonderful Tika, who She's my IT lady, and she put this together just this week or last week in one day. It was just stunning. So have a watch. What an opportunity to do the Silva Method in a venue as spectacular as this. Every day, this is what we saw while we were doing the 4-day Silva Method. We've seen zebra, we've seen giraffe. Last night, outside the room, slept a whole lot of impala. So if anyone's keen, just give us your expression of interest. We haven't created the event yet or any of that. Just give us your expression of interest, because especially if you're a graduate, the seats are going to be limited. As you know, graduate seats are always limited. But we're going to make sure we get a big enough room to allow enough people to come. And if you want to come from Australia, all I can tell you is this will be the greatest thing you'll ever experience in your life. Not just because you're doing the Silva Method, it's a wonderful 4 days, but you do it in that venue. I don't know. All I can say is God blessed me by helping me find Cradle Moon, which last year, June, is when I found it. And I found it because of a result of things going wrong. Again, the same principle applies. I couldn't get the game reserve I wanted. I couldn't get transport there. It was too far away, 3 hours. I tried to find a closer one. It was sold out. Then the only other option was this ridiculously expensive one. And then I thought, there's got to be something. And I just Googled close to Johannesburg. I thought, I got to get an Uber there because I haven't got the transport. And Cradle Moon came up. And I went to stay there on holiday just for a few days. I loved it so much. And then I saw all these conference rooms. So that's how I came to Cradle Moon. It was just a blessing of things going wrong even back then. So if it's something you're thinking about, take it seriously. It'll be something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. And if your family wants to come with you, as I said, the room sleeps 3. It can sleep 4 because there's a couch in the entrance of every chalet that is also a fold-out bed. Yep, so they can have a wonderful day doing game drives. There's walks. There's just so much to do on site. There's kayaks you can hire, boat rides, bicycles you can hire to go through the game reserve because there's no wild cats. And then literally 5 minutes away is the lion park with all the wild cats if you want to see them and see the cubs in an enclosure where you can even interact with them. Lions, cheetahs, leopard, wild dogs, all those kind of things. So I just wanted to share that. I love South Africa. Obviously, I'm from there, but what a great experience we had. Volume. Sorry, Navid. Yeah, the volume was a bit low. I don't know, even if when I put it here, because it comes from WhatsApp, it's kind of downgraded. I've only done the online grad due to COVID. I'd like to express my interest in South Africa. I mean, why not? Lisa, send that to us on email or email Nancy and myself, please. Let's grab your names and put you on a list. First come, first serve. Why not? Those are the best 2 words I ever heard tonight. Why not? All right, guys. And then for May, we have about 8 seats left with some people who have reserved their seats but not paid yet. So if anyone wants to join, just jump in quickly. And then the graduates only for Silver Grads is a workshop at the 27th of May. For all of you who may or may not know, we are moving office. I'm very excited. We've kind of outgrown this beautiful office. I've been here for 5 years. I love it so much. We're moving to North Ryde, 1st of June. So 27th of May, everything's going to be packed up here. There's going to be no equipment out or anything. So I'll do the workshop from my laptop. It's only online, and I'll make sure that it's awesome. So if you want that, please do book in early. That's the end of May. That's it from me. Oh, no. Heal Your Life. If anyone wants to do Love Yourself, Heal Your Life 2-day workshop of Louise Hay, the early bird price is still on. And it's the 10th and 11th of August, which is a Thursday and Friday. It will always be a Thursday and Friday, always, because Saturday and Sunday, please do nothing. If you do book this event, do nothing on those 2 days. You will want that time for yourself, and you'll love yourself for giving yourself that time. Hi, can you help me with signing up for the next workshop on Saturday, May? D. Sure, D. Just please send me an SMS. I remember this, or an email. But otherwise, if you go to the Silva Method WhatsApp group, I'll post the event on there and the bank details. So you just pay me directly into my bank. That's how you sign up. There's no link or anything. Thanks for asking. All right, any
Uh,
questions from anyone?
Janine, I was very keen to attend that 11th of May event. Are there any options for grants at the moment? I remember asking you. You said that you've put me on waiting list. Would that be an option for?
Let me come back to you. We do have double the amount of grads we normally have already in, and I do have you on the waiting list. So let me come back to you on that, if I may.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I can't confirm that right now.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so we're going to do a quick guided meditation. We've got 10 minutes. I'll be quick. So grab a pen and paper, and you're going to write some answers down. I'll ask you the answers in a meditative state. You're going to just set your intention for the month, and you're going to tune into your higher self for some inspiration. So let me put on some music. Okay. Just find a comfortable position. Thanks, Michelle. That you loved the Meaningful Monday. Awesome. And that's Michelle Lee, by the way, before I carry on. The solo rower who's just come back. All of you have been hearing about her through Meaningful Mondays. You have heard of her, or definitely as a graduate. Michelle Lee, that's the one who's just put the comment there. You can see her face. She's busy waving. Coming back from the rowing solo across the Pacific, 240 days alone in a rowing boat at sea. So we will create an event where all of you graduates can meet Michelle, whether it's at the new office premises or online. We will definitely do that. We want to hear from her. Her story is amazing. So stay tuned. But I just want to share that while we're here. She is here tonight. So thanks, Michelle. I'm glad you enjoyed Meaningful Monday. That's awesome. And I think you know exactly what I taught tonight from your own experience out there at sea with all that faith. Things will work out when they look like they're all going wrong. 5 cyclones and 4 hurricanes, whatever you got through there. So amazing. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's carry on. Okay. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just relax your body. Focusing on every part of your body, just softening, relaxing, and letting go. Relax your shoulders and any tension in your body. Release any tension in your face. Just relax your whole face. And as you feel your body relax, I want you to now create in your mind your ideal place of relaxation. And just imagine that you've created a beautiful waterfall of white light in that scene. And put it wherever you choose. And this waterfall is gentle and just allows you to stand under that cascading white light, which is a healing energy, a clearing energy. And just imagine yourself standing under that waterfall of beautiful white light. And as it trickles over you and pours over you, you feel your energy field getting clearer and cleaner, and all the clutter being removed, all the stress and tension of not just your day or week or last month or year, but your entire lifetime. Cleared, and you feel light. You feel amazing. And as that light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. And just notice how all the weights that you've been carrying are just no longer a burden. And your energy field is now starting to expand out and radiate love. And this beautiful waterfall is always available to you anytime you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this wonderful healing white light. Now just take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, just relax even more, even deeper. And just repeat mentally after me, every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts and images bring me benefits I desire. Affirm to yourself, I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. Now I want you to imagine that the white line turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All the hurts you felt, all the pains you felt, the angry moments, just allow this beautiful green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. You deserve perfect health. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You feel calm, relaxed, centered, with much awareness and focus at the same time. You feel as though you're in the flow of universal love and energy. Just feel how wonderful that feels. Feel that connectedness with everything. And now, trust that you tuned in to your higher self or your intuition, that inner wisdom that you have, that part of you that when you tuned in guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you, coming from a place of truth. So as I ask you these questions, I'd like you to write down your first impressions. Don't analyze or judge anything or think about it. Just write your first impressions down. It's really quick. You just have a few seconds. And then close your eyes and re-enter the meditation. I'll ask you about 3 or 4 questions. The first question is, what do I need to focus on for the month of May? Just write down your first impressions. Whatever comes to mind, write it down, and then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your calm, meditative state. The next question is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? and just relax. And the next question is, what do I need to let go of? Just write down your first impressions. What do I need to let go of? And last question, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need to do? Is there anything else? Maybe something you need to embrace. Just, is there anything else? And then allow a deep breath, relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Be aware of yourself sitting or lying in wherever you are. Gently wriggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can come out at the count of 3, opening your eyes, feeling wide awake in perfect health, feeling better than before. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and attendance. I'm going to stop the recording